to the Board of County Commissioners meeting room. Today is Tuesday, September 9th, and it is 5:05, and we are having our public hearing on our millage rate. Starting with Ms. Young, would you like to lead us off?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Chair. Today is your tentative budget hearing where we will discuss tentatively the millage rate and the countywide budget for fiscal year 25-26. Based on the guidance that we've had through the budget development process, the county is proposing a countywide millage reduction and rate of 8.7418, which is equal to the rollback rate for the general fund. The fire tax proposal remains at the previous year rate of 1.1 mils. The 25-26 budget, tentative budget, incorporates a balanced budget with inclusion of a reduction of the millage to the rollback rate for the general fund, a cost of living adjustment for BOCC employees of 4%, the additional 15 FTE positions approved at the August 26th meeting, inclusion of the capital improvement plan, and increases to all constitutional officers' appropriations. Keeping in mind the adjustment that was made from July to September to achieve that rollback rate was done with no additional adjustment to the constitutional officers, as they expressed concern about any additional cuts. All adjustments were made on your board side. All your funds, except for the transportation fund, are operationally sound with no use of reserves to fund day-to-day expenses. The transportation fund is utilizing over $2.3 million transfer from the general fund for reoccurring expenditures. This occurs every year. This is not a surprise to us. The transportation fund has been running in the red for a number of years. That's because the gas taxes simply do not cover the operational expenses of that division. Overall, your reserve balances have increased a bit, although remember we are going to see quite a few transfers this year, large transfers, although the largest of note is also set up to be a loan that would be repaid through the capture of the impact fees as we're able to expand and capitalize on that expanded capacity. With that, I'll answer any questions that you may have. Please keep in mind that this is your tentative hearing. There will be minor adjustments made from today to your final hearing, which would be on September 23rd. The majority of that adjustment will include your fiscal year 25 final projections for what's going to carry forward that may be in progress today and not going to close out before September 30th of this year.
All right. Commissioner Harvey, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to say what I said last meeting. We've worked very hard, the previous board and this board also now, to get to this rollback. And staff, I want to commend y'all for all the hard work that you've done. We've been wanting to get to this rollback rate, which is a decrease in millage for many years, and we just weren't able to do that. We could take little bites, but now we're finally there, and I want to thank you for the hard work all y'all did. I know, budget just doesn't start 3 months before this. It'll start again tomorrow for the next year, right? So, but I do want to thank you, because this is going to be beneficial to our citizens, and to see a rollback rate is really the right thing for us to do. So thank you so much.
Ms. Julianne, could you explain for just public audience what the rollback rate means?
Yeah, so the rollback rate is an aggregate calculation based on generating the same amount of revenue as last year, taking into account some new development. So i.e., it's intended to say, can you live with the same amount of revenue generation from last year from your citizens, along with anything that may be new to the table throughout the year, and operate on those same expenditure levels. And so traditionally that is a reduction, obviously, as values grow in the county. That millage rate reduction means that we would lose some opportunity of revenues that could have been captured, but in an effort for us to get as low as we can in our taxing rate on our side of the house, we worked very diligently to get us to that rollback rate and to reduce that countywide millage.
Well, it's something I've certainly been wanting to do since I've been here. I do have a question on the MSTU. Is there a reason why we can't go to that rollback millage rate?
The fire MSTU?
Yes.
The expenses in the fire MSTU are still growing at a rate that wouldn't support a reduction, and the value did not grow in the MSTU at a rate that would allow us to capture those. So keeping in mind that we get a different assessed value for each taxing authority, when we looked at the fire MSTU, there was a very small growth in additional revenue, and with the additional expenses in the fire service that we incur just on an operational basis, again, the fire MSTU is not paying for capital. We're just talking about reoccurring expenses in the fire service. There truly isn't an opportunity this year to reduce that fire MSTU.
All right, well, the fact that we're looking at the rollback, it means a lot, hopefully to our citizens as well. Commissioner Alexander, you're recognized.
So I want to make a statement just to be clear for the public, and correct me if I'm wrong. We did not raise our millage rate. We rolled it back, and we added 15 additional full-time employees to better support our community.
That's correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody was clear with that.
And 8 of those are in fire rescue.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Commissioner Harvey, you recognized?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And your question was good to staff about the fire tax MSTU. You know, we are putting on more firefighter, more public safety, and we had a conversation at the last meeting about even the hours that would change there. So we're going to see probably more crews being put on for public safety. So very glad that we're looking at that, and the fire departments that we have built around the county. This is a good thing. So thank you.
All right, are there any other questions for Ms. Young from the board? All right, do we have any comment cards? If there's anybody else who has not filled out a card but would like to speak, please just do so, and we'll be glad to hear from you. Mr. Mann, 120 Cedar Creek Road. Come on up. You're the next contestant.
I'm the next contestant, the only deer in the headlights again. I'm getting a little bit confused, and I need y'all to help me understand this. If we're having a millage rollback, why, with the new budget, is my trim statement showing a higher tax rate for if the budget's approved? That doesn't make sense to me.
Go ahead.
Can I help you?
Yes, please.
The trim notice is based or generated off of a July maximum millage assessment projection. And in July, the board passed a maximum millage equal to the millage rate of the prior year. And then for the county side of the house, we worked to further reduce that. And so today is day one, our first hearing for what will be our millage. If everything goes forward, the maximum after today would be that reduced rate for county-wide services of 8.7418. Keeping in mind that we're only one of your taxing authorities. So your trim notice should give you an aggregate of all of those different taxing authorities, from the water management to the school district. If you're on Cedar Creek Road, you're not gonna have a municipality. But we do not have any authority over any of those other taxing authorities. We only control our own authority and our own millage assessment.
So,
Okay,
so
well-
when you look at yours, and you know it says 8.8441 for the BOCC, what we're now proposing is a reduction, which is the rollback of 8.7418. So we're looking at that number where you see 8.8441 as the millage number.
I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it.
Ms. Holmes is going to walk out there.
Well, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time.
It's okay, we're here for the
Do you know
public.
what? Yeah, help me out here. Sorry, guys, I
So
don't mean to hold up
this
the
is
whole.
your county, and so this is what it was last year. This was what it was proposed in July, and this would be the rollback. So this is actually a reduction. See, this is what this is what it would have been had we approved it at the 8.8. This is what it would be if we approve it at the rollback rate of 8.741. But now keep in mind, all of the rest of these are not, well, the fire MSTU is part of us, but the school, local, the school board, the school debt, and the water management are not something that this board has any authority over.
Right, I understand that now. I guess it says if no budget change is made, it's lower than if there is a budget change. So somewhere in here, I'll have to review the numbers, there's an increase, but it's not with this.
It's not with your board.
It
It-
would not be with your taxing rate.
Okay, well, then I'm all for rolling back. Good job.
Well, we got one happy person in the county.
This is very confusing. I mean, I went and saw the property appraiser, and I struck out, and so now I'm having to go to a VAB. But folks like myself and my wife, that we're living on fixed incomes, every nickel counts, and
Yes, sir.
every year it goes up, and it's like, what do we do? So it just seems like to me, and it seems like a little bit of this is happening. Some of this burden needs to be passed on to the folks that are coming here.
That's
They're
exactly,
coming here and generating the need for revenue. They can pave the way. Thanks, y'all.
You're right. Thank you, sir.
yes, sir, and that is exactly the sentiment of this board, and I'm proud to say that we're discussing the rollback millage rate. I don't know, Commissioner Harvey, you've been here the longest. Have we ever had the
Never.
rollback millage rate?
No, we have not. We've tried, but we have never gotten to it. We've gotten close. One year we had to raise, and that was not fun. It was just terrible. It was a terrible year. So,
Commissioner Palatka, you're recognized.
Ms. Young, just for general information for the general public, and be sure I'm on the right track. Even though we've held the rollback rate or lowered our rate, if their property recently got reassessed and is assessed at a higher value, even though we did our part, it still goes up, correct?
Well, it is possible, yes. So remember, again, we have no control over the value assessed of the property either. That handles out of the property appraiser's office. The only thing we can control on our side is the actual tax rate.
Right.
Which is a factor, a multiplier as to where we get the revenue generation from taxes.
I think the general public sometimes gets a little tangled up with that. Well, you lowered my rate, but my taxes went up. Well, your property's now worth this much when it was worth before this much. So they don't, make the connection of the two. And I just want to be sure that can be out there for them to make aware of it. They're on the A game like I'm trying to get on with you.
Right?
Thank you.
Commissioner Alexander.
I'm very proud to be part of this board that, we all know the economy is struggling right now, and our citizens need relief. And I'm proud to say that we're doing our part and being fiscally conservative while still increasing services. I mean, that's something that just doesn't happen in other communities. So just want our public to know that if they do see an increase on there, it is not attributed directly to us. It is a property value increase, or it can be attributed to one of the other taxing entities, not the BOCC.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Newbold, you're recognized.
Surely. And don't feel like you're the only person. I bet all of us have had more calls on this subject than anything else. And it is confusing, it is complicated. So you may be the only one here, but you're not alone. I really wish we could have a community workshop that said, hey, this is how it works, because 9 out of every 10 people that I've spoken to, once I finally fumbled through my understanding of it, and they get it, and they at least have they're more comfortable. So anyway, I'm also proud to be a part of this, the ability to hit the rollback. It is a big deal. I did not realize how uncommon that is. So thank you guys for working hard and helping us achieve that.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak from the public regarding the millage rate? All right, coming back to the board for a vote.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that my motion is the fiscal year 2025-2026 Putnam County-wide operating millage rate of 8.7418 mills, which is equal to the rollback rate. We'll do them one at a time.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I need a roll call vote.
Okay, roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Yes.
Madam Chair, on the next motion would be the fiscal year 2025 Putnam County non-countywide operating millage rate for the fire tax municipal service taxing unit, MSTU, of 0.1000 mils, which is the same as last year's millage rate. This rate is 0.01% higher than the rollback rate of 1.0897 mils.
We have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Yes.
Madam Chair, together my motion for the aggregate millage is 9.8137 mils, which is 1.15% higher than the aggregated rollback rate of 9.7019 mils.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Roll call. Sorry, I'm in that zone.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Madam Chair, my motion is to adopt the fiscal year 2025-26 budget, all funds, $288,792,098.
Dollars.
Yep, dollars.
We have a motion on the floor, second.
Second.
Second, any further discussion? Is this a roll call vote?
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes. So with that being said, for the first time that anybody can remember, we've actually hit our rollback millage rate. I hope that the other municipalities and the other taxing authorities in our county would also consider doing the same thing. So I'm just going to put it out there. And I really think that we are, we've got some tough times ahead of us, and we don't know what the future holds, and it's the prudent, fiscally responsible thing to do. And I hope they will follow our lead and also take the rollback rate. With that, is there any other comments? All right. This meeting is adjourned.
Yay.